Akiva students that passed away from, according to some opinions, from Passover, from Pesach, until the 33rd day of Omer. That's according to most opinions. Most Rishonim say that. Some people said they actually died until Lamed Dalet Ba'omer, until the 34th day, which is today. And the reason why we are actually happy on the 33rd day of the Omer, so according to the people that the last of the students died, unlike Baomer, right? So we're happy because they stopped dying. The pandemic, the Gzera was finished. So that's according to most Ashkenazi people that they keep it like Baomer. But now the Sephardim keep the mourning until the 34th, until today. Because their opinion is that it continued dying on the 34th day too. It's an argument of the Rishonim. So according to them, the happy day should be today. Were we happy yesterday? They were still dying. So that's based on the Zohar, because the Zohar says, after Rabbi Akiva lost his 24,000 students, he went to the southern part of Israel. He only got 5 new students. Some people 7, but the Gemara says in Yevam was 5 students. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was one of them. Rabbi Meir was the other one. And actually, when all the students died, it says Torah Shebal Peh was lost because it wasn't written yet. Who was going to teach Torah Shebal Peh? So when he got these 5 students, so then Torah Shebal Peh continued. So anyways, we're going to mostly discuss the first reason why like Baomer is a happy day, because the students of Rabbi Akiva stopped dying. Now, why did they really die? We find 2 statements. One is in Masechta Yevamos Daf Samech Beis. The other one is in Medrash Rabbah, Bereshis Rabbah. I think it's on Perek Samech Aleph. I think it's on the segment Gimel 3. So 61:3. If you look it up, the Gemara says because they were not giving honor to each other properly. They didn't give honor to each other properly. Because of that, they died. That's what the Gemara says in Masechta Yevamos. However, the Medrash says it a lot more harsher. The Medrash doesn't just say they didn't respect each other. The Medrash says the word tsar ayin. Tsar ayin is like something, they didn't look at each other with a good eye. It really doesn't explain what it is. But the Eitz Yosef, which is one of the Mefarshim, he says these words, Son im elu le'elu, the students hated each other. This is the language that he uses. Again, if you're going to learn Kabbalistically, they were holy people, and really they're not respecting was something very, very subtle. It's not the way we understand it. But we're going to go according to the simple pshat. It says they hated each other to such an extent, no one was willing to receive any divrei Torah from the other guy. They didn't want to hear from any divrei Torah at all. With that, actually, the Ben Ish Chai explains another deal. The Gemara always tries to make it hard, right? How many students did he have? The Gemara doesn't say 24,000. There were 24,000. But what does the Gemara say? What's the terminology in the Gemara? 12,000 pairs. So the Ben Ish Chai asked, why do you say 12,000 pairs? So, okay, what does it mean? You got to double it by 2, so it becomes 24. Just say straight, 24,000 students. Why? 24, yeah, what is it? 12,000 pairs. So the Ben Ish Chai says Rabbi Akiva had Ruach HaKodesh. He knew that the students are going to be jealous of each other. They hate each other. And again, I didn't explain it very well because each one wanted to be the top in his class. He couldn't stand somebody else being smarter than him. So he didn't want to hear, oh, you think you're better than me? I'm not going to listen to your Torah. I think I'm better than you. So what Rabbi Akiva did, he actually paired a strong student with a weaker one. So the pairs were made by Rabbi Akiva. He made the chavrusa. When I was in yeshiva, I chose my chavrusa. My Rosh didn't choose for me. So Rabbi Akiva actually went and chose for a strong student, a very weak student, hoping when a weak student sees that the stronger one is teaching him Torah, is helping him, he will respect him. So he knew he had Ruach HaKodesh, there is jealousy. Hopefully this is going to mitigate or get rid of the jealousy. So the Ben Ish Chai says even that didn't help. And they were jealous of each other, and they couldn't, everybody wanted to be the best in the class. And when somebody else was excelling, was doing better, he was jealous. And that's why the whole pandemic happened. What's the problem with that, people? You see, we have something similar to that, unfortunately, happening. Thank God it's not as bad. 40 years ago, 50 years ago, if an Ashkenazi girl married a Sephardi guy or vice versa, oh my gosh, it's like you intermarried. What is this? You marrying a non-Jew or something? Even recently, in certain yeshivas, if somebody is like very, very Sephardic in Ashkenazi yeshivas or vice versa, they have a problem accepting them. You see, yeah, it happened a while ago. There was actually one of the schools in Los Angeles, I don't want to say what, a lot of Persians were coming because it's a very good school. So I was friendly with the principal. He says, I have an issue. I don't want it to become a Persian school. Wow. I said, what? What's wrong with that? If it becomes a Persian school or Israeli school or Russian school, who cares? You know what I'm saying? What happens is Rabbi Akiva's students didn't look at each other as being on the same team. You see, we have to look at each other in the same team. We have one leader. Our leader is God. And God wanted to have a very, very beautiful world when Mashiach is going to come. We're going to get to the purpose of creation. Does it matter who does that? If you feel in the same team, does it really matter? When I don't look at myself that I'm in the same team as you, I put the I in there. I want to be better than you. So then I forget about the leader and the purpose. This was the mistake of Rabbi Akiva's students. So you have to look at each other. We're all in the same team. Does it matter which organization does something? If you're talking about Kiruv organizations, who cares if Ashkenazi group does it, a Hasidic group does it, a Sephardic group does it? The more, the better. We're on the same team. No jealousy. That's one thing that we learned. So please, guys, whenever anybody does it, it's fantastic. As long as they do God's work. Thank you for listening, people. I got to rush.